Hello, as Taiwan's National Chamber of Commerce, I would like to welcome all interested stakeholders to today's presentation, where we'll take a look at a few attractive natural places in Taiwan before heading onto the topics of politics, economy, social factors, and market conditions. Let's get started. Formerly known by the Portuguese as Formosa, which means beautiful, these are some of the natural beauties that Taiwan has to offer. Clockwise to your top left is the Turtle Island in Yan, and the top right is Taroko National Park, located in Taichung City. Bottom right is a beautiful lake named Sun Moon, located in Taipei, and the last to your bottom left is Lotus Lake in Kaohsiung. Take a look at the map to your right in blue. We're an island about the size of Maryland and Delaware combined in southeastern Asia, highlighted in red. Across from mainland China and south of Japan and Korea, our capitals in Taipei to the north, where we have over 7 million people. Taiwan has a total population of approximately 23 million. Mandarin Chinese is our official language, although English is widely spoken. As of the early 1990s, Taiwan is a modern democracy. Ma Ying-jeou from the KMT party won a second four-year term as president of Taiwan in January 2012. His friendlier approach to Beijing has helped Taiwan navigate through the many of Asia's regional integration, as well as the recent global financial crisis. His second term as president proves that Taiwanese citizens approve of his leadership, but he wasn't always like this. I'll briefly introduce you to our past changes of government in history. In 1895, Taiwan was surrendered by China to Japan under a treaty following the military defeat of Qing Dynasty. Following the end of World War II, Taiwan became part of the Chinese Nationalist Party. In 1949, 2 million nationalists left mainland China to come to Taiwan because the communist forces of Mao Zedong were taking over control of the land, and this action marked the beginning of the two Chinas scenario that left the People's Republic of China under communist control and displeased US diplomacy for the next 30 years. ROC stands for Republic of China. Then during the 1950s, the local population were included in a slowly changing democracy. In the 1980s, this process became much faster and then expanded. Finally, in 2000, Taiwan began changing peacefully from the nationalists to the Democratic Party. And it was through this period that the island became one of East Asia's economic tigers. Since 2008, in order to ease tensions with the People's Republic of China, the KMT endorses the three no's, which are the policy defined by President Ma: no unification, no independence, and no use of force, and this in relation to mainland China. First, let me point out that in 2012, Taiwan was the 20th largest economy in the world after Australia. As you can see on this chart, the European debt crisis has affected us in 2012. In 2010, however, we had a strong rebound from a weak 2009 exports due to the global recession. Please also note the relatively low inflation rates marked in dark blue. As managers, you'll be looking at the following charts and numbers closely. Here you can see how our GDP per person at purchasing power parity is measured against other Asian nations. GDP per capita in Taiwan was 38,500 in 2012. Next, let me warn you that in Asian economies, consumers like to save rather than spend. But during the past 5 years, consumer spending in emerging Asia has grown by an annual average of 6.5%, much faster than in any other part of the world. Taiwan is an exporting nation, so we depend on the buying habits and trends around the world. Take a look at our principal trading partners next. As you would guess, China is our number one export market. As a group, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, is next. It includes Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, among others. We also do a lot of exporting to the US and Europe. In 2006, China overtook the US to become Taiwan's second largest source of imports after Japan. China is Taiwan's number one destination for foreign direct investment. Export commodities. Our main exports are electronics, flat panels, machinery, metals, textiles. Taiwan is number 22 in the world for exports, a few spots ahead of Brazil, and just lagging behind Spain and Switzerland. Our main imports are electronics machinery, crude petroleum, precision instruments, organic chemicals, and metals. An import, Taiwan is classified in the 20th position in the world, ahead of Australia and a few spots behind Russia and Mexico. You might be asking yourself, how big is emerging Asia's middle class? Well, definitions vary widely, but take a look for yourself. From 2012 on, the middle class consumption in East Asia in green will only increase when compared to both Latin America and Africa. Taiwan's unemployment rate is low compared to most places in Europe and the US. Our southeast region has the highest percentage of unemployed workers, but that is still only accounts for around 5.7% of the total population. Next, let's talk economy. The Economic Cooperation Framework Agreement, known as the ECFA, is the biggest and most recent highlight for us. It was signed in June 2010. Not all residents in Taiwan welcomed the agreement, though, because they feared loss of jobs, interdependence, and reunification with China. Under the agreement, 539 Taiwanese products now enjoy lower export tariffs than before, and Taiwan's 11 service sectors now have access to China's market. They include banking, accounting, securities, and hospital. On the other side of the deal, Taiwan had to cut tariffs for 267 categories of Chinese imports, estimated at close to 2.9 billion worth of goods annually. Our government officials affirmed that we have received the best part of the deal. For example, our exports of fruits to the mainland were close to 10 million in the first 11 months of 2010. One area that continues to be expanded every year since 2008 is the open sky for air transport liberalization. President Ma's friendly approach to China has enabled Taiwan to sign important agreements and increase scheduled flights across the strait. Chinese tourists have been allowed to visit Taiwan independently of tour groups since late June 2011. Some of the other bilateral economic pacts that Taiwan has been seeking are with the US and the European Union. Talks for a trade and investment framework agreement with the US, known as TIFA, is trying to be revived. A free trade agreement with the EU has been on the table. ASTAP, Agreement of Singapore-Taiwan Economic Partnership, is scheduled to happen this year. The proposed ASTAP will open doors to investors by granting preferential access to Singapore through Taiwan and Taiwan through Singapore. Taiwan and Japan also signed their first investment accord in September 2011 to strengthen their economic ties. Taiwan is located at the heart of air and sea transportation in Asia Pacific. It is the economic growth center of the world. Taipei's north are Tokyo, Seoul, and Shanghai. Its south are Hong Kong, Singapore, and capitals of the ASEAN nations, which form a dual golden navigation circle. In Taiwan, we have 18 airports, 3 of which are international airports. Surrounded by sea, Taiwan also has many harbors, including 5 international. We have high-speed railways throughout the island, 2 highways, and a mass rapid transit system in Taipei and Kaohsiung. All metropolitan areas have dedicated bus routes networks. Furthermore, the public utilities are highly available. The availability of tap water is close to 93% as of June 2012, and the availability of power supply is nearly 100% and has been so since 2002. The penetration of telecommunications is high. Broadband penetration rate was ranked 6th in the world in the 145 regions measured, behind only to Iceland, South Korea, Hong Kong, Holland, Denmark, surpassing Singapore and Japan. In the government sector, it has reached 100%. The internet penetration rate is also high in Taiwan. About 8 out of 10 households have access to the internet. 3 important international organizations that Taiwan belongs to are the World Trade Organization, the Asian Pacific Economic Cooperation, known as APEC, and the Asian Development Bank. Let's see what Taiwan's participation in each more closely. Taiwan joined the World Trade Organization in 2002. Since then, it has enjoyed the blessings of expanded free trade, such as in the telecommunications field, which accounts for 39% of our exports. We now enjoy 0% tariff rates in all major overseas markets. In the past decade, our GDP has grown by 34%. Foreign trade volume has increased by more than 100%. What is APEC and how does it work? The Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC, is the premier forum for facilitating economic growth, cooperation, trade, and investment in the Asia-Pacific region. APEC has no treaty obligations required of its participants. Decisions made within APEC are reached by consensus, and commitments are undertaken on a voluntary basis. Taiwan has been a member of the Asian Development Bank (ADB) since 1966. The organization aims for an Asia and Pacific free from poverty. Simple. Taiwan's economic freedom score is 72.7, making its economy the 20th freest in 2013. Following is a chart comparing corruption between well-developed economies, Taiwan, and emerging markets. As you'll notice, Taiwan is rated not too far from Japan, Germany, and the US when dealing with corruption. We have improved much since the 90s. This is the end of the economic section. Next, we'll take a look at some of the social and cultural factors that you should be aware of in Taiwan and Asia. Our country is not a particularly daunting place to visit or do business. It's crowded, okay, and it can be confusing sometimes, but you'll be pleasantly surprised at how friendly and helpful everyone is. In general, Taiwanese people are not overly formal or easily offended. Furthermore, most people in Taiwan are very familiar with Western customs. What's more important is to remember to bring along a generous stockpile of smiles. When they first meet you, Taiwanese people tend to like to ask a lot of questions. Get used to the interrogation. It's viewed as a way of being friendly, and feel free to ask us plenty of questions yourself. People in Taiwan are quite hospitable. A friendly disposition will make up for social awkwardness events. The Taiwanese are also especially appreciative of foreign guests who are curious about their culture. An avid interest in things and the unique aspects of Taiwanese living will win you a lot of friends. Taiwanese culture, as well as that many in Asia, is well known for the special value it places on respecting elders. When meeting a group of people, it's nice to greet the eldest person first. Pouring a drink or holding the door for a person of an older generation will always win you high approval. When they meet each other, people in Taiwan usually shake hands. They generally do not bow as in Korea or Japan, except on very formal occasions, such as when receiving an award or addressing an audience. When presenting a gift or money, a package or document, it is polite to offer with both hands. This symbolizes that the present is an extension of your person. The tradition of guanxi helps add a personal touch to professional relations. Guanxi means relations. Two business people who are interested in striking a mutually beneficial deal will first engage in guanxi building rituals, which provide a foundation of trust for their future interactions. Next, face is something similar to Western concept of good reputation, only more highly valued. It is gained by demonstrating the willingness to share. Generosity is the essence of face. Face can be given to people by complimenting them, showing them respect, or doing anything that increases their self-esteem. But you can also cause someone to lose face by causing someone embarrassment or tarnishing their image or reputation. Taiwanese dress the same way people in Americas and Europe do. Remember to always have a neat appearance. Always take your shoes off when you enter someone's home. This rule is virtually universal in Taiwan. Violent crimes against foreigners in Taiwan is unusual. The majority of crimes occur in major metropolitan areas, similar to developed countries. A 9-year compulsory education system was put into effect in 1968. Compulsory education will be extended to 12 years in 2014. Vocational high school offer special curriculum with general high school courses as well as classes in practical, classes in industry, and others, in line with various needs of students for a balanced vocational education. Some of our potential challenges are Taiwan's total fertility rate of just 1 child per woman, which is among the world's lowest. This raises our prospect future for labor shortages, falling domestic demand, and declining tax revenues. But where there's a risk, there's opportunity. Since Taiwan has an above-region high GDP per capita, it can attract immigrants, especially in the near Asian countries, to work here and help supply our economy. But our biggest challenge is with our diplomatic isolation as a trading nation and lacking the formal political relationships of most nations. Active participation in the international economy is especially important to Taiwan. Most time, China's inclusion will take precedence on ours in most organizations. So to overcome this, we learn how to become flexible to keep international trade. So if you're looking to do business in Taiwan, remember these things. Location, ECFA, values, and people.